Hey guys, QF4TheButtonSmashers.com, and this is our review for Fate Extella Link. Hey guys, new review, I'm back. Took a while to get this one out, but that's because of the fact that I had a couple things going on. But anywho, let's just jump into it. When it comes to musou games, it's either hit or miss depending on the source material. These titles are completely reliant on fan service to drive interest. And when I say fan service, I don't mean the shiggly kind. That helps, but it's not the driving force. This genre tries on interest derived from already popular entertainment icons like the hugely popular Fate franchise, a franchise which has interesting, likable characters as well as a massive enough fanbase to buy into the never-ending brainless battles this genre is well known for. Well, the brainless part is a bit incorrect, but I'll explain why soon enough. The Fate musou games benefit from a massive roster of characters and engaging gameplay, making them an easy recommendation for fans of anime games. Furthermore, these types of games also benefit from what can only be described as highly compelling design. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The statements thus far are a bit general, but you're here for a specific title, that title being Fate Extella Link for the PlayStation 4, PC, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation Vita. This particular review focuses on the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch versions of the game. However, you can find coverage for the PlayStation Vita on Too Old for Gaming and the PC version on my mate JRPG's channel. Speaking of which, I'm currently running a giveaway of some fantastic JRPG titles in collaboration with Jay and a few other mates who also cover JRPG titles. So feel free to check out my Twitter pinned post for a link and details if you wish to enter. Shameless plug aside, this is a fantastic game and I greatly enjoyed reviewing it. The game follows the basic musou title design of one character versus insurmountable odds, using highly stylistic moves. Similar to the popular Dynasty Warriors franchise, it consists of hacking and slashing against hundreds of opponents in order to take over or defend a specific area on the map, with occasional mini-bosses and bosses appearing. As this genre has bled over to other popular franchises like Fire Emblem and One Piece, it was only a matter of time till it reached the Fate franchise. In 2016 we got Fate Extella Link the Umbra Star, which you can watch a review for on this channel, but the way they implemented the mechanics was very vanilla with some exceptions that are important to the Fate lore, like super moves you can activate called Noble Phantasms. Fate Extella Link has expanded upon the previous entry with addition of support units, active skills, rush attacks, and link attacks. Support units are entirely new, allowing for other servants to help you based on how much they've bonded with the main character. They act like passive skills that sometimes trigger off of active skills or as a defensive mechanic. Speaking of active skills, in the last game you had to memorize combo paths in order to set off large attacks, but now those have been separated into active skills and can be activated anytime with a short cooldown. Some of the offensive active skills have a chance of launching a mini boss or a boss into the air, prompting you to mash the light attack button. This is normally what they call a rush attack, but if you have allied characters in the same area you perform a rush attack, they will join in on the fun, becoming a link attack. This depth of combat revolving around the new active skill mechanic really speeds up the gameplay, allowing for easy EX rankings. In fact, the game is really easy, even on hard difficulty. This entire review was done on hard, and only in a few boss battles was it a little bit challenging. Each stage consists of pre and post battle cutscenes with planning and battles sandwiched in between. The cutscenes are thankfully skippable, which comes in handy when replaying stages due to the overwhelming need to unlock everything. Oh, and can we give a round of applause to Marvelous for actually putting enough desirable content into a game for players to unlock? This includes characters, outfits, stages, and more. Take notes, other developers, this is how you do an anime themed game. The time invested must feel adequately rewarded, and this is a rewarding game to play. No lazy color swaps to unlock here. I'm looking at you, My Hero Wants Justice and Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Now that is not to say that Fate Extella Link is the most generous game either. It's not. The fact is that it has its own set of DLC rounding out at about $30 US at the time of writing, and the previous game's DLC capped out at about $60 US. Compared to games like Dead or Alive 6, it's not as bad all things considered. The simple fact that characters unlock after completing stages, and outfits each have set requirements to unlock, means that players should feel rewarded throughout their experience. My only wish is that there were more outfits to unlock. The game has numerous campaign stages with alternate routes for good measure. There are also extra stages which each come with their own interesting rewards. The campaign isn't that complex, borderline on boring egotistical history buff drivel that does more to confuse more so than anything else. However, that's to be expected. These games rely heavily on their source material for proper exposition, so given that Fate is of the egotistical alternate history ilk, it works. In simple terms, me person like Fate anime, person like Fate games. Simple. This game continues from where Fate Extella the Umbral Star ended, although it's not necessary to play that game before playing this one. You play as a silent protagonist kun, which as you guys know, I hate silent protagonist kuns. But that aside, you're living in a virtual world inside a lunar supercomputer. In this last refuge for humanity, powerful servants, sentient digital recreations of famous figures from Earth's lore and history, battle rogue programs and each other to establish dominance. Your character is the last master, a character who controls servants. But don't ask me the finer details because I've not actually watched enough of the Fate anime to know. Worry not though, France got us covered.
The Master of Seraph, you sit at your throne in Rome, not Earth Rome, virtual moon Rome, with your dutiful servants. At your side stands Nero Claudius, the last Roman emperor of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, who was apparently an anime girl this whole time. Tamamo no Mae, a Muromachi period kitsune turned top-tier courtesan and part-time murderer, an anime girl as expected. Baby Attila the Hun, who is a massive plot point of the previous game, so I can't say much else without spoiling, who is also randomly an anime girl. And plenty of servants ready for your command. Not all of them are anime girls. Keep in mind, this is a spin-off series, but a very popular one at that. It's also a pretty easy and straightforward one to start. The least prior knowledge you need to play Extella Link would be to play through Extella the Umbral Star. If you want to do a little more homework, you could play Fate Extra for PSP to get the start of the series, or you could watch the anime reimagining produced by SE.RA.PH, Fate Extra Last Encore.
Blah 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 weeb speech. Seriously though, if you want more details, we'll leave a link in the description so you can read more about the game. What's really relevant is that a new threat has arrived to wage apocalyptic war, with your character and servants standing against the destruction with a new hero, Charlemagne, at the center of it all. Compared to the first game, Fate Extra, which was a dungeon crawler RPG with nothing but literal rock paper scissors mechanics, Fate Extella Link shines in the gameplay department. It builds a lot on what its predecessors left it, and then some. This title drew a lot of hype from the Fate community thanks to improved character models, graphics, new gameplay mechanics, and the return of the 16 characters from Fate Extella with an additional 10 new characters. Though Charlemagne is the focal point of this story, I only used him for the tutorial and sidelined that bastard because reasons. You see, the game dangled the idea of choice in my face only to immediately take it away pretty early in the plot. This involves you being presented with a situation whereby you're required to choose a servant to summon. No matter your choice, Charlemagne shows up. This makes the choice irrelevant and sets a bad precedent for the rest of the game. None of your choices matter. None of them. When you're presented with something, just choose the first option and then play the others after. It's as simple as that. This game's focus is not on the plot, but rather its gameplay. The game is also a visual treat, from character models to 2D art. All the illustrations and CG art for the extra spin-offs are done by Wada Ako. Praise be to her. But her unique Baishoujo art style never translated perfectly into the character models they used for the PSP way back when she first started with Fate Extra. Her characteristically large and starry eyes translated to being flat and bug-like once the models were running in engine. But now in Fate Extella Link, all the character models render her style amazingly in engine. In the last game, Fate Extella the Umbro Star, the old PSP character models were used during most cutscenes and moments of dialogue. And while I wouldn't mind that now that the models look much better, the newest game opted to only use drawn sprites instead. It might feel like a bit of a step backwards technologically speaking, but this cohesive aesthetic harkens back to the visual novel roots of the franchise and shows how talented Wada Ako is. Oh, and the waifus in this game are as beautiful as they are bountiful. Obviously, I resonated with the tsundere charms of Nero, but that's not to say that I didn't find myself admiring the voluptuous pirate that is Drake, or the wonderful flat justice of adult Extella and Elizabeth. Elizabeth! The attention to detail put into these characters had me itching to buy some of their DLC, but I resisted the urge because I didn't see myself coming back to the game after completing the review. Wait, hold up just a sec. What was that? In the name of P-Life, let's take a moment to enjoy the shiggle. Fate Extella Link is what I'd refer to as a fluid game. It looks and runs well despite all the chaos happening on screen. There is some random pop-in during the later levels on the Nintendo Switch, but since the framerate is mostly solid, only dipping at the start of cutscenes, it's not too big of an issue. In handheld mode, this doesn't seem to be an issue, presumably due to the lower resolutions required. The PlayStation 4 version similarly ran wonderfully, with the only noticeable flaws being some very noticeable screen tearing on the servant select screen and hub area. Thankfully, you won't spend much time there thanks to shortcut menus. Also, similar to most hub areas in other games, this one is outright unnecessary as it serves no real purpose. Moving in the hub is clunky and slow. There is nothing to find, the area never changes, and everything you do there is easier to access via a menu. So with all that I've had to say so far about this game, here's my final verdict. If I had to sum this game up in a single word, it would be rewarding. The combat is magically satisfying, visually aesthetically beautiful, and the reward system is very engaging. Yes, it would have benefited from a better campaign and more unlockable outfits per servant, but what we get is well worth the asking price. Players who like anime games, and more specifically those who follow the Fate franchise, will get the most out of this title. No matter what you're doing, you will be gaining something, and it's for this simple reason why I highly recommend this game. Thank you very much for watching our review of Fate Extella Link. Before you get out of here, I just want to let you guys know one more thing. We are doing another giveaway called the Milestone Giveaway. This is a giveaway in partnership with 40 Splish Splash, my friend Roger. Over on his channel, he just hit 15,000 subscribers, and we just hit 3,000 subscribers on here. So we wanted to take this opportunity to give away something to the community of people that follow us. Roger and I have known each other for years, and we do a podcast together called That Beautiful Life, so it was easy coming together to do this giveaway. For those wondering what you can win from this giveaway, we're giving away 3 PC games and 1 PlayStation 4 game. The PC games are Resident Evil 2 The Remake Standard Edition, Dying Light The Following Enhanced Edition, and Criminal Girls Invite Only. The PlayStation 4 game is Pod, so if you find any of those games interesting, make sure to enter the giveaway to get a chance to win one of them. And with that, make sure to leave us a comment in the comment section below to let us know what you think about this review, and if you'd like to see more content like this from us, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you'll always know when we put up new content.